when do we flip the inequality symbol? Well, when you multiply or you divide both sides of your equation by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality symbol. What does that mean? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say we have x over negative 3 is greater than 6. So to isolate the x, which we want to isolate the x on the left-hand side, we must do the inverse operation of division, which is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by this negative 3. So times negative 3 on this side, which cancels that out and isolates the x, and multiply by negative 3 on the right-hand side. So what we're left with is x on the left-hand side and negative 18 on the right-hand side. Now, what do we do with this inequality symbol? Well, it says when you multiply or you divide both sides by a negative number, you flip the inequality symbol. So, over here, instead of being that greater than sign, it's going to be this less than sign. X is less than negative 18. You might say, okay, that's cool. I can memorize these rules, but what is the intuition behind this? Why does it work this way? Well, let me explain. Let's say you have x over negative 3. I'm just going to rewrite our equation, and I'm going to explain the intuition behind why you must flip the inequality symbol. Right over here, we're saying all of this must be greater than 6. A number divided by negative 3 has to be greater than 6. Remember, if you divide two negative numbers by each other, it becomes positive. We need a positive number to be greater than 6. We can't have a negative number saying it's greater than 6 because it's not. So x over here has to be negative. Now, what negative number divided by negative 3 is greater than 6? It basically has to be 3 times as big as 6. So let's say, how about negative 18? Is negative 18 divided by negative 3 going to be greater than 6? Well, what is negative 18 divided by negative 3? That equals 6. So 6 is not greater than 6. 6 equals 6, right? So let's try, how about a more negative number? How about negative 19? Let me scroll down a little more. How about negative 19 divided by negative 3? Well, what is negative 19 divided by negative 3? If you want to pull out your calculator, you can, and that would equal 6.3. So this equals 6.3. Now, is 6.3 greater than 6? Yes, 6.3 is greater than 6. So in this instance, x was equal to negative 19. Now let's take a look at our original answer. X is less than negative 18. Is negative 19 less than negative 18? Well, you might think, hey, look, it's a 19. 19 is bigger. Well, remember when we're talking about negative numbers, it's the opposite. Think of it as a number line. If you're $19 in debt, do you have less money than when you're in $18 in debt? Well, when you're in $18 in debt, you don't have as much debt as when you're $19 in debt. So negative 18 is greater than negative 19, or this x right over here, or negative 19 is less than negative 18. And so this is the intuition behind why we flip the inequality symbol. Instead of doing everything here on this right-hand side, instead of doing all that, we just found this neat little rule that, hey, when you divide or you multiply both sides by a negative number, you flip the inequality symbol to keep the truthfulness of the statement. All right? So now let's try one where we have to divide. Let's say we have negative 2x is greater than 8. Now to solve this, we see that negative 2 is being multiplied by this x. So what is the inverse operation of multiplication? That is division. So we have to divide both sides in order to isolate that x by negative 2. Remember, anything you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So on the left-hand side, we're left with x, and on the right-hand side, we're left with negative 4. Now, what do we do with this inequality symbol? Remember, anytime we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, we flip the inequality symbol. So, with that in mind, we would flip it like this. Now, if you want to understand the intuition behind this, we can explain this as well. So let me rewrite this. Negative 2x is greater than 8. Here it's saying a negative number multiplied by a number is going to be greater than 8. So first of all, when two negative numbers are multiplied by each other, they become positive. And we need a positive number to be greater than 8. A negative number cannot be greater than 8. So we'll go negative 2, and let's substitute negative 4 into our equation for x. So what's negative 2 times negative 4? That's going to equal positive 8. Now, is 8 greater than 8? No, 8 is not greater than 8. So we need a bigger negative number. So let's try negative 2 multiplied by negative 5. What does that equal? Well, negative 2 multiplied by negative 5 equals 10. Is 10 greater than 8? Yes, 10 is greater than 8. So in this instance, our x equaled negative 5. And if we take a look back at our original answer, x is less than negative 4. Is negative 5 less than negative 4? Yes, it is. Negative 5 is a smaller number than negative 4, and so x is less than negative 4. I hope this video was helpful in telling you the rules of when you flip the inequality symbol, but not just telling you the rules, but really the intuition behind the rules, the reason why they're there. Not just because they're there to be there, but because they serve a purpose. And I hope you were able to look at all the intuition behind this and understand why we flip that inequality symbol. So thank you for watching, and like always, stay positive.